Good afternoon. I'm going to talk about the chapter 6 that is about project versus task. And my name is Carmen Alicia Osuna Salazar. Setting up a project. Stages involved in setting up project work. According to Britt Booth, a full-scale project involves 3 key stages. And the first one is classroom planning. Students collaborate with the teacher. They discuss the content, scope of their project and ideas, and they gather the material they are going to need. Stage number 2, carrying out the project. Students move out of the classroom. They perform the task they had already planned. They will be using the 4 skills: listening, writing, speaking, and reading. Stage number 3, reviewing and monitoring the work. A teacher is going to give feedback during and after the project to the learners. The students are going to receive advice from their teacher. They're going to be a group analysis between them, and students are going to self-monitoring. Project work step by step by River and Vida. We have 8 steps. The one is creating a good classroom atmosphere. It's very important to create a nice atmosphere so learners is going to be easier for them to learn. Getting the class interested. We have the class has to be dynamic. We have to include all the students. We don't have to leave one student out. All the students have to be engaged in the classroom, in the class. Selecting the topic, the teacher and the learners are going to choose the topic of the project, creating a general outline of the project, doing basic research around a topic, reporting to the class. Number 5, processing feedback. Number 6, putting it all together. Number 7, they are going to present the project. And the last one is assessing and evaluating the project. According to these authors, they define the project work in these terms. Project work is a team and task-centered mode of teaching and learning, which results from joint process of negotiating between all participants, and it allows for a wide scope of self-determination for an individual and a small group of learners within a general framework of a plan which defines goals and procedures. Lewin and Thomas propose these main stages for carrying out project work. Opening, the first one. Second, topic orientation. That number 3, research and data collection that I want to collect. Number 4, preparing data presentation. Number 5, presentation of the project. And that last one, evaluation. Backward planning design. This means that the main target task is identified and other tasks arise naturally out of the need to fulfill this target. Teacher and learners need to specify the essential preparatory steps. A certain degree of flexibility is needed in the sequence of tasks leading up to the target task. If the project, we don't have to do exactly a week's plan. That's why they say that there is flexibility to change something of the project. 3 stages of backward design. Identify desired result. What I want the students to understand and know, and what I want the students are able to do. Determine acceptable evidence. How will I know that they know what I want them to know? Maybe asking questions to them. So I'm going to realize that if they had the evidence that they learn what I want them to know. plan learning experiences. What do I need to do in the classroom to prepare them for the assessment? The activities that I'm going to do, so the students I want to learn, and I'm going to be able to assess their learning. Teacher and learning roles. Teacher roles, coordinator of the learning process. Teacher are responsible. They are responsible for the learning process of the class. Teacher give the learners independence and responsibility in the project classroom. This doesn't mean that the teacher is going to give all the responsibility to the student, but they make the students autonomous. But the teacher is in charge of the learning process, and he's going to intervene. He's going to help the student when they have a problem. They are going to advise, to give them advice, so the project can work fine. And this is some other roles of the teacher: the planner, role model, or model, protector, resourcer, assessor, and information provider. Learner roles. Learner learn through doing and experience. The experience they already has and doing in the classroom. Learning in here and now. Learning something related to the present reality. For example, I'm teaching school objects, and the reality, I show realia, pencil, a crayon, book. There, this is a pen, this is a pencil, this is a book. Experimentation and reflection. Learners are discovered. Learning find out through hypothesis, experimentation, and verification. They discover. The project learning is also reflective. Students, they need to reflect on their learning. They have to draw their conclusions and to make new hypotheses. Role of learners, there are some here. Difficulties with implementing project work. An obvious factor is that of time. The English class is only 50 minutes, and due to this pandemic issue, it's less than 50 minutes, and obviously the time is not enough. You have to be in a hurry. It's not, we don't give the students much opportunity to practice, because we have to move from one activity to another activity, because 30 minutes is not enough. Institutional pressures might make or break a project. Many students, they don't have the knowledge, so we have to change something in the syllabus or to teach something else. But sometimes they go to the classroom and check your class, and you have to follow a lesson plan. And sometimes if you teach something that is different, they say you, no, you have to teach what is here in the lesson plan. So if we implement another activity, it's because we know that student doesn't know that, but they have to learn before that one in order to follow the lesson plan. There might be problems in the group dynamics. The other one is teacher role in the process is different from the traditional classroom. Students are learn different from 10 years ago. It's so different, the learning process on today's day. Learners' collaboration in the choosing of a topic for a project. The learners collaborate with the student and choose the topic that they are interested in that topic. Teacher needs to know how to deal with error in the process classroom. Sometimes they make a mistake, but if you are evaluating speaking, so maybe you are going to give feedback after. You have to not to interrupt the student. The student has to keep talking if you are assessing speaking. So we have to know when are going to give feedback to the student. Teacher needs to be aware of the necessity for group monitoring. Of course, when students are performing a task, we have to move around the classroom and monitor the student to if they need help or if you have to give an advice to them. You can give an advice if the student asks you for an advice. Or say, teacher, I have this doubt, you can help the student. Providing vocabulary, audios, or video to help learners self-monitor. Obviously, when it's a new vocabulary, we have to teach first the vocabulary. We can get audio so the student can correct the pronunciation. So the student they can self-monitor their pronunciation with the help of the audio. Conclusion. Project work is challenging for many teachers because sometimes it's difficult for us to set up the project and continue working with it with different sessions to accomplish the desired work, because sometimes we have for this project we need 5 days, but maybe there is a holiday and you had one day less, or maybe there is that day they suspend classes and you are going to have, so the project is not going to continue working because you had 5 days. And when you finish the 5 days, you have to move to another topic. You have to follow the lesson plans. For me, doing a project task in kindergarten will be challenging. The students can learn, giving them the opportunity to use the language in the classroom more often and with a different task according to the topic we are teaching in the moment, letting them to be more independent of the learning with activities that attract them. The activity has to be dynamic, and the most important aspect, the affective aspect, and a nice atmosphere so they feel comfortable and not afraid of making mistakes. We first, there has to be a nice atmosphere so the student feels comfortable and he is not afraid of making mistakes. So they can learn better because they feel comfortable in the classroom. Well, this is public school topic. It's going to be a school audience. Kindergarten 5 to 6 years old. My name is Carmen Alicia Sona Salazar. This is the level. This is the materials I'm going to need. The vocabulary we are going to teach. This is the group 3rd grade kindergarten. The goals. The students understand questions to identify information about a school audience. Simon say, bring me an eraser. So the student has to bring me the eraser. Simon say, bring me a notebook. So the student has to bring me, and they have to understand information that you are giving to them. Explore and listen questions that, can I borrow your sharpener, please? Can I borrow your scissor, please? And the student has to give me the scissor. Can I borrow your notebook, please? Participate in questions. And the student, when teacher, I need a pen. So can I borrow your pen, please? The student, we have to teach the student that, can I borrow your pen, please? Can I borrow your color, please? They have to participate in questions. And reviewing, writing, we know that kindergarten kids, they cannot read, but they know later that they start writing and identify some of them can identify some letters. Steps to follow. First, I always start the class using a song with the school audience, and this is the because with the song the kids they learn faster because I teach them with flashcard. So the Lisa pencil, come and see, pencil, 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 come and see, and they are repeating that, so there is easy for them to learn. Second, I introduce the vocabulary with choral repetition. I put the flashcard, pencil, pencil, and then as pencil, you, pencil, pencil. So the students have to repeat the vocabulary. This is the second. I teach the vocabulary with choral repetition using flashcard, using the picture. Now, step third, I paste the, I put the student, no, not student. Teacher pays the work, yes, student pay the work card under the correct picture. I put the pictures on the board and I have the written word of the school object, and I say, Daniel, come here, and I give. Of course, I had to read the word. Pencil, where is the pencil? You have to pay this word on the picture, pencil. So a student go and pay the word pencil on the correct picture. Daniela, come here. This is backpack. Paste this word card in the correct picture, backpack. Step number 4, I use realia on the table. I put the school objects, the pen, the scissors, the pencil, the book, the system, and I ask and I pass one student to the front and I say, Marta, can I borrow your pencil, please? So she had to give me the pen. Thank you. Can I borrow your sharpener, please? And she had to choose the sharpener. Can I borrow your book, please? And she has to give me the book. Can I borrow your ruler, please? And she has to give me the ruler. And the students have to give me the correct order that I mentioned it to him or her. The fifth step, I give the activity to the students and they write their name and they have to point to the school audience that teacher is mentioning. For example, they had activity and I say, where is the book? And they have to show me the book. Where is the sharpener? And they have to show me the sharpener. Where is the scissor? They have to show me the scissor. Where is the pen? And they have to show me the pen. 6, I paste all the pictures on the board and pass one student. And I say, pencil, you have to paste this on the picture of the pencil. And they paste the pencil and they, in their activity, they had to write the word pencil. And then I pass another student, I say, backpack, paste this word card on the backpack. So they had to paste the word on the backpack. And then in their activity sheet, they had to write the word backpack. Until we finish the activity with the 5 school objects I'm teaching them in that moment. And 6, that one. And finally, teacher and student sing the song Goodbye Song. And this is the material with a picture, pencil, pen, book, backpack, scissor. Thank you. A reference. Thank you for being here. And thank you for your participation. Thank you so much.